The doorbell rings and I freeze. It's a sound I haven't heard in years, not since he walked out on us. My heart races as I approach the door, a mixture of anger and curiosity burning in my chest. I take a deep breath and open it, revealing the man I once loved, the man who shattered my trust and broke our family. "Hello, Amara," Grayson says, a charming smile on his face. "It's been a while." "I never thought I'd see your face again, Grayson. After all these years, you think you can just waltz back into our lives like nothing happened?" My voice trembles with barely contained fury. He steps forward, his eyes pleading. "I know I made mistakes, but I've changed. I want to make things right, especially with Zoe. She deserves to have her father in her life." I scoff, crossing my arms. "Zoe deserves better than a father who abandoned her. You lost the right to be in her life when you walked away." Grayson sighs, running a hand through his hair. "I was a different man then, Amara. I was selfish and foolish, but I've learned from my mistakes. Please just give me a chance to prove myself." I hesitate, torn between the desire to protect my daughter and the small part of me that still remembers the man I fell in love with. "One chance, Grayson. That's all you get. But if you hurt Zoe again, I swear I'll make you regret it." He nods, relief washing over his face. "Thank you, Amara. I won't let you down." As he steps into our home, I can't shake the feeling that I've just invited trouble back into our lives. But for Zoe's sake, I'm willing to give him a chance to be the father she deserves. Over the next few weeks, Grayson charms his way back into our lives. He takes Zoe out for father-daughter bonding, listens intently to her stories, and showers her with affection. I watch from a distance, my heart aching as I see the joy on Zoe's face, a joy I haven't seen in years. One evening, as we're cleaning up after a catering event, Grayson approaches me with a proposition. "Amara, I've been thinking about your business. I have some ideas on how we can expand, take things to the next level." I raise an eyebrow, surprised by his sudden interest. "I appreciate the offer, Grayson, but I've been managing just fine on my own." He leans in, his eyes sincere. "I know you have, but imagine what we could achieve together. With my business knowledge and your culinary skills, we could make this catering company the talk of Houston." Against my better judgment, I find myself considering his offer. The prospect of growing my business is tempting, and having Grayson's support could make it easier. "I'll think about it," I concede, "but I'm not making any promises." Grayson smiles, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "That's all I ask, Amara. Together, we can make something amazing." As he walks away, I can't help but feel a twinge of unease. Grayson's sudden interest in my business, his smooth words and charming demeanor, it all feels too familiar. I've fallen for his tricks before, and I can't afford to let my guard down again. But for now, I'll play along, keeping a watchful eye on the man who once broke my heart. As the days pass, Grayson's presence in our lives becomes more pronounced. He's always around, offering to help with the catering business, bonding with Zoe, and trying to win me over with his charm. Despite my reservations, I find myself letting him in, little by little. One afternoon, as we're preparing for a big event, Grayson pulls me aside. "Amara, I've been looking over the business's finances, and I think I can help you secure a loan to expand. With the right investment, we could take this company to new heights." I frown, unsure of his sudden interest in my business's financial matters. "I appreciate the offer, Grayson, but I'm not comfortable taking out a loan. We're doing just fine as we are." He places a hand on my shoulder, his eyes intense. "Trust me, Amara, I know what I'm doing. With this loan, we can buy better equipment, hire more staff, and take on bigger clients. It's a risk, but the payoff will be worth it." Against my better judgment, I find myself agreeing. Grayson's confidence is infectious, and the prospect of expanding the business is tempting. "Okay, let's do it, but I want to be involved every step of the way." Grayson grins, squeezing my shoulder. "Of course, partner, we're in this together." As we work on securing the loan, I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. Grayson is too eager, too insistent on using my house as collateral, but every time I express my doubts, he reassures me with his smooth words and charming smile. One evening, as I'm going over the paperwork, my best friend and business partner, Liam, stops by. He takes one look at the loan documents and frowns. "Amara, are you sure about this? It's a lot of money, and using your house as collateral is risky." I sigh, rubbing my temples. I know, Liam, but Grayson seems to know what he's doing. He's convinced this is the right move for the business. Liam's eyes narrow, his voice low and serious. I don't trust him, Amara. He shows up out of nowhere after 10 years, and suddenly he's an expert on your business? Something doesn't add up. His words strike a chord, and I feel a knot forming in my stomach. You're right, Liam. I've been so caught up in the idea of expanding that I haven't been thinking clearly. I'll talk to Grayson, see if we can find another way. But when I confront Grayson, he becomes defensive. Amara, this is our chance to make something great. Don't let Liam's doubts hold you back. He's just jealous of what we have, of the bond we share as a family. His words are like honey, sweet and convincing, but there's a bitter aftertaste. I don't know, Grayson. Maybe we should slow down, think this through. Grayson's eyes flash with anger, his voice cold. I thought you trusted me, Amara. I thought we were partners. But if you'd rather listen to Liam than your own husband, then maybe I was wrong about you. I flinch at his words, a part of me still desperate to believe in the man I once loved. No, Grayson, I do trust you. I'm sorry for doubting you. Let's move forward with the loan. As we sign the papers, I feel a sense of unease washing over me. I've just tied my future, my home, to a man I'm no longer sure I can trust. But it's too late to back out now. I've made my choice, and I can only hope that Grayson's intentions are as pure as he claims. That night, as I lie awake in bed, Zoe comes into my room, her face etched with worry. Mom, I need to talk to you about Dad. He's been asking me for money, saying it's for the business. But something doesn't feel right. My heart sinks, a cold realization dawning on me. Grayson's been manipulating not just me, but our daughter as well. And now, we're both caught in his web of lies and deceit. Zoe's revelation about Grayson asking her for money sends a chill down my spine. I sit up in bed, my heart racing as I process the implications of his actions. Zoe, honey, how much money has your father asked for? She looks down, her voice trembling. A few $1,000s. He said it was for some business expenses, that he'd pay me back as soon as the loan came through. But when I asked him about it later, he got angry and told me not to mention it to you. I pull her into a hug, my mind reeling with the realization that Grayson has been manipulating our daughter. It's okay, sweetie. You did the right thing by telling me. I'll handle this. The next morning, I confront Grayson in the kitchen. We need to talk. Zoe told me you've been asking her for money. What's going on, Grayson? He looks up from his coffee, his expression a mix of surprise and annoyance. It's nothing, Amara, just a little misunderstanding. I needed some cash to cover a few expenses, but I'll pay her back as soon as the loan comes through. I shake my head, anger bubbling up inside me. No, Grayson. You don't get to use our daughter like that. If you needed money, you should have come to me. We're supposed to be partners, remember? Grayson's eyes narrow, his voice taking on a defensive tone. I didn't want to bother you with every little detail, Amara. I'm just trying to keep the business running smoothly. You're overreacting. Overreacting? You're taking advantage of our daughter's trust, and you expect me to be okay with that. I slam my hand on the counter, my voice rising. And what about the loan? I've been going over the paperwork, and something doesn't add up. Where's the money going, Grayson? He stands up, his face flushed with anger. I don't have to explain myself to you, Amara. I'm doing what's best for this family, for our business. If you can't see that, then maybe you're not the partner I thought you were. I step back, stunned by his outburst. I'm not the one hiding things, Grayson. I'm not the one lying to our daughter. I want the truth, and I want it now. Grayson grabs his jacket, his eyes cold and distant. You want the truth? Fine. The truth is I've been cleaning up your mess, Amara. This business was failing before I came back, and I'm the only one who can save it. If you can't handle that, then maybe I should just leave. He storms out of the house, leaving me shaking with anger and confusion. I collapse into a chair, my head in my hands, as I try to make sense of what just happened. How could I have been so blind? How could I have let Grayson back into our lives, only to have him betray us like this? I spend the next few hours going over the business's financial records, trying to piece together where the money has been going. As I dig deeper, I uncover a trail of discrepancies and hidden transactions, all leading back to Grayson. He's been embezzling money from the business, siphoning off funds into his own accounts. My heart sinks as the reality of his betrayal sinks in. The man I once loved, the father of my child, is nothing more than a liar and a thief, and now he's put our entire future at risk. I pick up the phone, my hands shaking as I dial Liam's number. Liam, it's me. You were right about Grayson. He's been stealing from the business, and he's manipulating Zoe. I need your help. We have to stop him before it's too late. As I hang up, I feel a sense of determination washing over me. I won't let Grayson destroy our lives, our business, our family. I'll do whatever it takes to protect what's mine, even if it means taking down the man I once loved. Liam arrives at my house within the hour, his face etched with concern. I pour out the whole story, showing him the financial records and the evidence of Grayson's betrayal. He listens intently, his brow furrowed in concentration. Amara, this is serious, he says, his voice grave. Grayson's not just embezzling money from the business, he's been gambling it away. I've heard rumors about him getting involved with some shady characters, running illegal poker games. My stomach churns at the thought of Grayson's deception, running even deeper than I imagined. I can't believe I let him into our lives, Liam. I trusted him, and he's been lying to me this whole time. Liam places a comforting hand on my shoulder. It's not your fault, Amara. Grayson's a master manipulator. He knew exactly what to say and do to gain your trust. But now that we know the truth, we can fight back. I nod, a fierce determination burning in my chest. You're right. I won't let him get away with this. He's not just stealing from me, he's stealing from Zoe's future. I have to protect my daughter. As if on cue, Zoe walks into the room, her eyes wide with fear. Mom, what's going on? I heard you and Liam talking about Dad. Is everything okay? I take a deep breath, knowing that I can't shield her from the truth any longer. Zoe, honey, I need to tell you something about your father. He's been lying to us, stealing money from the business, and using it to gamble. Zoe's face crumples, tears welling up in her eyes. What? No, that can't be true. Dad wouldn't do that to us. He loves us. My heart breaks for my daughter, knowing the pain she must be feeling. I know it's hard to believe, sweetie, but it's the truth. Your father has been manipulating both of us, taking advantage of our trust. Zoe collapses into my arms, sobbing uncontrollably. I gave him money, Mom. I thought I was helping him, helping the business. But he was just using me, wasn't he? I stroke her hair, my own tears falling silently. It's not your fault, Zoe. Your father's the one who betrayed us. But I promise you, I won't let him hurt us anymore. We'll get through this together. Liam clears his throat, his expression somber. Amara, we need to act fast. If Grayson's been gambling with the loan money, it's only a matter of time before the bank comes after you. We need to gather all the evidence we can and take it to the authorities. I nod, wiping away my tears. You're right, Liam. I won't let Grayson destroy everything I've worked so hard to build. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure he pays for what he's done. Over the next few days, Liam and I worked tirelessly to gather evidence of Grayson's crimes. We pore over financial records, track down witnesses, and piece together a damning case against him. All the while, I try to shield Zoe from the worst of it, knowing that she's already been through so much. But even as we work to bring Grayson to justice, the consequences of his actions begin to catch up with us. The bank calls, threatening to foreclose on the house if we can't pay back the loan. Suppliers start demanding payment for overdue invoices, and clients begin to question the stability of our business. I feel like I'm drowning, the weight of Grayson's betrayal crushing me from all sides. But I refuse to give up. I made a promise to Zoe, to myself, that I would make things right, and I intend to keep that promise, no matter what it takes. One evening, as I'm working late in the office, Grayson storms in, his face twisted with rage. What the hell do you think you're doing, Amara? I know you've been digging into my business, trying to turn everyone against me. I stand my ground, my voice steady and cold. I'm doing what I should have done a long time ago, Grayson. I'm exposing you for the liar and thief that you are. You've hurt me, you've hurt Zoe, and you've put everything we've worked for at risk. It's over. Grayson laughs, a cruel, mocking sound. You think you can stop me, Amara? You have no idea who you're dealing with. I'll destroy you just like I destroyed this business, and when I'm done, you'll have nothing left. He storms out, leaving me shaking with anger and fear, But I won't let his threats deter me. I have the truth on my side, and I won't rest until Grayson pays for his crimes. No matter what it takes, I'll make sure he never hurts us again. The next morning, I wake up to a pounding on my front door. I stumble out of bed, my heart racing as I peer through the peephole. 2 men in suits stand outside, their faces grim and impatient. I open the door, my hands trembling. "Amara Johnson?" one of the men asks, his voice gruff and businesslike. I nod, my throat suddenly dry. "Yes, that's me. What's this about?" The man hands me a stack of papers, his expression unchanged. "We're from the bank. You're in default on your loan, and we're here to inform you that we're starting the foreclosure process on your house." My stomach drops, a wave of panic washing over me. Foreclosure? No, there must be some mistake. I've been making payments on time. The man shakes his head, his voice cold and unsympathetic. "Not according to our records. You've missed several payments, and the loan is now in default. You have 30 days to bring the loan current, or we'll be forced to take possession of the property." I stand there, stunned, as the men turn and walk away. I close the door, my legs giving out from under me as I sink to the floor. How could this be happening? How could Grayson have let things get this bad? I pick up my phone, my hands shaking as I dial Liam's number. "Liam, it's me. The bank was just here. They're going to foreclose on my house if I don't come up with the money." Liam's voice is calm and reassuring on the other end of the line. "Okay, Amara, take a deep breath. We'll figure this out. I've been doing some digging into Grayson's past, and I think I might have found something that can help us." I feel a flicker of hope, a glimmer of light in the darkness. "What did you find?" It turns out Grayson has a history of scamming women, running illegal gambling rings, and embezzling money from businesses he's been involved with. I've tracked down some of his former partners and victims, and they're willing to testify against him. I let out a shaky breath, my mind reeling with the implications of Liam's discovery. "So, we have a case against him? We can prove that he's been stealing from the business, from me and Zoe?" "It's a start," Liam says, his voice cautious but determined. "But we need more evidence, something concrete that ties him directly to the embezzlement and the illegal gambling." "I have an idea, but it's risky." I feel a surge of determination, a fire burning in my chest. "I'll do whatever it takes, Liam. I won't let Grayson destroy our lives any more than he already has." Over the next few days, Liam and I worked tirelessly to gather evidence against Grayson. We tracked down his former associates, convinced them to turn over records and testimony, and pieced together a damning case against him. All the while, I tried to keep up appearances at work, not wanting to let on to Grayson that we're closing in on him. But Grayson is growing increasingly erratic, his behavior more and more unpredictable. He shows up at the office at odd hours, demanding to see the books, accusing me of trying to undermine him. I do my best to keep my cool, knowing that any slip-up could jeopardize our plan. One evening, as I'm working late in the office, Grayson bursts in, his eyes wild with anger. "You think you're so clever, don't you, Amara? You think you can outsmart me, turn everyone against me?" I stand my ground, my voice steady and calm. "It's over, Grayson. We have evidence of your crimes, of your lies and your betrayal. You're going to pay for what you've done to me, to Zoe, to this business." Grayson lunges at me, his hands reaching for my throat. I dodge out of the way, my heart pounding in my chest. "You'll never prove anything," he snarls, his face twisted with rage. "I'll destroy you, Amara. I'll take everything you love and burn it to the ground." I back away, my hand reaching for the phone. "You're wrong, Grayson. You've already lost, and now you're going to face the consequences of your actions." I dial 911, my voice shaking as I report the assault. As the police sirens grow closer, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. It's not over yet, but for the first time in months, I feel like I'm taking control of my life, my future, and I won't let Grayson take that away from me again. The police arrive within minutes. We're taking Grayson into custody. As they lead him away in handcuffs, he shoots me a venomous glare, his eyes promising retribution, but I refuse to let his threats intimidate me. I've come too far to back down now. In the days that follow, Liam and I put our plan into action. We reach out to Grayson's former associates, the ones he's scammed and cheated over the years, and convince them to join forces with us. Together, we devise a scheme to lure Grayson into a trap, to catch him red-handed in the act of his crimes. It's a risky gambit, but it's the only way to ensure that Grayson pays for what he's done. We set up a high-stakes poker game, spreading the word through the underground gambling circuit that Grayson used to frequent. We make sure that the game is heavily monitored, with undercover police officers posing as players and dealers. The night of the game arrives, and I feel a mix of nerves and anticipation as I watch from a hidden camera. Grayson swaggers into the room, his arrogance on full display. He takes a seat at the table, his eyes gleaming with greed as he surveys the other players. As the game progresses, Grayson becomes more and more reckless, betting larger and larger sums of money. I watch as he pulls out a wad of cash, the same cash that he embezzled from our business, and tosses it onto the table with a smirk. But just as he's about to rake in his winnings, the undercover officers spring into action. They surround the table, their badges glinting in the dim light. "Grayson Mitchell, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and illegal gambling," one of the officers says, his voice stern and authoritative. Grayson's face turns pale, his eyes widening in shock. He tries to run, but the officers are too quick. They tackle him to the ground, handcuffing him as he struggles and curses. I step out from behind the camera, my heart pounding in my chest. Grayson looks up at me, his expression a mix of fury and disbelief. "You set me up," he snarls, his voice dripping with venom. "You'll pay for this, Amara. I'll make sure of it." I shake my head, my voice calm and steady. "No, Grayson. You're the one who's going to pay. You've hurt too many people, destroyed too many lives. It's time for you to face the consequences of your actions." As the officers lead Grayson away, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. It's not over yet, I know. There will be a trial, a long and painful process of unraveling the web of lies and deceit that Grayson has woven. But for now, I can breathe a little easier, knowing that my daughter and I are safe, that our future is no longer in the hands of a man who would stop at nothing to destroy us. Liam puts a hand on my shoulder, his expression one of pride and admiration. "You did it, Amara. You stood up to him. You fought back. I always knew you had that strength inside you." I nod, feeling a lump form in my throat. "I couldn't have done it without you, Liam. You've been there for me every step of the way, even when I didn't deserve it." Liam smiles, his eyes soft and understanding. "That's what friends are for, Amara. That's what family is for. And you and Zoe, you're my family. I'll always be here for you, no matter what." I lean into his embrace, feeling the warmth of his support and love wash over me. And for the first time in months, I allow myself to hope, to believe that maybe, just maybe, everything will be okay. As we leave the police station, I take a deep breath of the cool night air. The road ahead won't be easy, I know. There will be challenges and obstacles, moments of doubt and fear. But I also know that I'm not alone, that I have the strength and the support to face whatever comes my way. And that knowledge gives me the courage to keep moving forward, one step at a time. The morning of Grayson's arraignment, I wake up with a knot in my stomach. I know that today is the first step in a long and painful process, but I'm determined to see it through. I dress carefully, choosing a simple black suit and a white blouse, my armor against the battle ahead. Liam picks me up, his face etched with concern. "Are you sure you want to do this, Amara? You don't have to face him alone." I nod, my jaw set with determination. "I need to do this, Liam. I need to look him in the eye and let him know that he hasn't broken me, that he hasn't won." We arrive at the courthouse, the steps crowded with reporters and curious onlookers. I take a deep breath and push through the throng, my head held high. Inside, the courtroom is packed, the air thick with tension and anticipation. Grayson is led in, his hands and feet shackled. He looks pale and drawn, his once confident demeanor replaced by a sullen defiance. He catches my eye and sneers, his lips curling into a mocking smile. The judge reads out the charges against him, a litany of crimes that makes my stomach churn. Fraud, embezzlement, extortion, illegal gambling, the list goes on and on. Grayson pleads not guilty, his voice dripping with disdain. As the hearing ends, I approach Grayson, my heart pounding in my chest. "You think you're so clever, don't you?" I say, my voice shaking with anger. "You think you can just walk away from all the pain and destruction you've caused?" Grayson laughs, a harsh, grating sound. "You're pathetic, Amara. You think you've won, but you haven't seen anything yet. I'll destroy you, just like I destroyed everything else in your miserable little life. I lean in close, my eyes locked with his. You're wrong, Grayson. You've already lost. I know about your past, about all the women you've scammed and cheated. I know about the illegal gambling rings you've run, the lives you've ruined, and I'm going to make sure that everyone else knows too. Grayson's face twists with rage, his hands clenching into fists. You'll regret this, Amara. I'll make sure of it. I shake my head, a small triumphant smile playing at the corners of my mouth. No, Grayson. You're the one who's going to regret ever coming back into our lives. I'm going to testify against you, and I'm going to make sure that you pay for every single one of your crimes. As the guards lead Grayson away, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. It's not over yet, I know, but I've taken the first step. I've faced my demons and come out stronger on the other side. Outside the courthouse, I find Zoe waiting for me, her face streaked with tears. Mom, I'm so sorry, she sobs, her body shaking with grief and anger. I can't believe I ever trusted him, that I ever let him into our lives. I pull her into a tight hug, my own tears mingling with hers. It's not your fault, Zoe. He fooled us all, but we're going to get through this together, I promise. Zoe pulls back, her eyes blazing with determination. I want to testify against him, Mom. I want to tell the court what he did to me, how he manipulated me and used me. I nod, my heart swelling with pride and love for my brave, resilient daughter. We'll do it together, Zoe. We'll make sure that he never hurts anyone else again. As we leave the courthouse, hand in hand, I feel a sense of hope and purpose that I haven't felt in years. I know that the road ahead will be long and difficult, that there will be setbacks and challenges along the way. But I also know that I have the strength and the support to face whatever comes my way. And that knowledge gives me the courage to keep moving forward, one day at a time.